So please have with you a couple of big pillows if you have bolsters. Ideally, they can be pillows from your sofa. Something a little softer,
like the pillow that you use in bed. You might also need a block or even two, maybe some books. So if you have a big book or block, please have it close to you. And you might also need a blanket. I'm sorry for asking so many things. But the class will be a lot more comfortable for you if you have them already around you rather than having to run and look in the middle. So do take your time finding all the props you may need. And whenever you're ready, come to lie down on your back. We will start lying in any relaxing kind of posture that works for you. Perhaps already having a little support for your knees. I've just dragged this blanket closer towards me so I can have this tiny bit of support under. We want to focus mainly on healing the body, on balancing the body. And it's generally an interesting concept because often we have an aversion towards healing because it takes admitting that something is out of balance. And that's why I called it a balancing class rather than a healing class. But see how it resonates with you, and if you can make friends with the idea that maybe something is a little bit off. Maybe search while you lie there. If you find having your eyes open useful, then do keep them open. If closing them down actually gives you a clearer view of how your body is feeling, then feel free to do that instead. While you search, take it gently and slowly. It's a very important part. Take a few deep inhalations in from the crown of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet, expanding and creating space in the whole body. And as you exhale, letting it sink a little bit more. Continue that rhythm of deep inhalations and deep exhalations. Remember during this class that if anything doesn't feel right, if anything doesn't work for you, you can come back to this same posture. Chakra balancing doesn't need postures. It only needs a clear intention. We've put our postures as a little tool to help you stay present. To help you tap into any sensations. Continue lying down. Continue scanning your body. Continue breathing deeply. Perhaps if the breathing is already feeling quite natural to you, if including all the parts of the body comes naturally, bring in the idea of grounding. Repeat internally, I ground and center myself. I ground and center myself. And throughout this practice, I want you to feel embraced and supported. And so if any of the postures doesn't provide that support for you, do come back to lying down. If getting into funny shapes is something you want to try today to help you tap even better into your body, into your energy, into everything that is going on for you, then the first posture we will do is owl, for any of the yinsters that already know what that means. So you can slowly make your way to being kind of on both of your feet, with your knees on the right and left, with the intention to feel heavy. If this is too much for your knees, you can use a block and sit on the block. If this is still too much, you can use a second. If this is still too much, you can get even higher. So remember that the most important part is feeling comfortable, supported, and able to root. Once you've settled the feet and your knees, you can have your arms in between the knees, gently pressing them to the outside, and your hands close towards your heart, lying your chin on the tips of your fingers. Alternatively, you can have your hands on the knees and support your whole face, helping you keep the eyes closed too. Or any other variation that may come natural to you. Settling here, bringing your attention to the bottom of your spine and a little further down. If you're familiar with chakra locations already, then tapping into the root chakra. For a lot of people, an easy way to find where that is thinking a little bit further to the front from your sit bones, the bones that are sticking out, and a little bit more internal. The whole area that is kind of being exposed forward as you sit here, whether you're using the block or not. Coming back to that intention of balancing the chakras of your body. Intention is a very strong energy. You're doing all the work. So bring everything you have to this area of the root chakra, engaging with it, staying with it. And if colors is something you enjoy, then the color red might be appropriate to bring into your visualization. Or if you're more into sounds, perhaps the sound lamp. Staying a little longer. In between postures, I will take you back to lying on your back as a neutralizing place. If, however, you need a little bit more of this one, you can stay here for another minute. I'll tell you when that's up. Or slowly start making your way back to being even closer to the ground, sitting or even lying completely on your back for a moment of silence and a moment of noticing any effects this posture may have had on your body, on your mind, on your connection with yourself. Taking a few breaths in and out, deep, long, steady breaths. Washing your root chakra with the color red, with the sound lamp. If you have chosen to not take the neutral pose, slowly come to sit as I start preparing for the next one. The next posture we will do today is turtle pose. It looks a little bit like a child's pose, but in Yin we're really not about form. It's all about how you feel, and particularly for this class, it's about comfort, healing, and balance. So if you need 2 big cushions, take 2 big cushions. If a blanket underneath your ankles is what you need so that your feet can go flat-ish on the floor, or if you need that blanket to come all the way in between your knees so that you don't have a massive compression there, then do that instead. Play around with how that blanket is going to support you best. Take your 1 or 2 big cushions, maybe even a block to bring it a little bit closer. And let your whole upper body come closer to carrying your cushions. This time we will be focusing around the sacrum area, your low back. You can start by having your arms there for a moment, just knowing where you want to focus, making sure that this area feels soft and supported. And allow your whole upper body to be heavy and falling towards the mat. Relax your arms. Relax the breath. If colors is something that typically works for you, if it worked before, maybe bring the idea of orange in your practice. Maybe the sound vam, if sounds are of your preference for today. Stay a little longer here. Completely releasing any muscle tension. And taking another couple of big breaths. Slowly come out of this posture by gently pressing the hands onto the earth, helping you come towards sitting and stay here for a moment. To prepare for the next posture, you will probably need less props. So take them all to the side and come to lie down onto the outside of your right thigh. We are approaching cat tail pose. Having your right shoulder on the mat, your right leg on the mat on the outside. Have the left leg a little bit further forward and support it towards the floor with your right hand, and let the left one fall behind you. If you find that the floor is far away and that shoulder is not comfortable, then pull the cushion that you put to the side a little closer. Let that left shoulder be supported by it. Or let it hang for a little if it's not uncomfortable. Perhaps that left arm can reach all the way for your right big toe behind you. And then you have a cat pulling its tail. Without engaging much, start settling into this shape. Coming another step higher towards the front of your stomach, around the middle, the solar plexus. Place of willpower and a lot of strength. Place of connection too. The color yellow seems to go really well with this chakra. And the sound Ram. Perhaps internally repeat Ram every few moments. Perhaps have that right arm move to the area instead of being on the knee. Relaxing a little bit more. Getting a little heavier. If you haven't been moving, you're lying on your Shavasana-like posture. Have your attention in this area. You don't need the posture. Postures are to help us get into the body. But if you can already feel the area, that's enough. Take another couple of breaths here. And slowly release both your legs back straight on the mat, whether you choose to go on your belly or on your back. Take a little moment of neutralizing the spine after such a deep twist. Feeling any after sensations as the body is readjusting. And from here, stay as long as you need. Or whenever you're ready, start turning towards the opposite side, towards the left shoulder, the left leg on the outside. Bringing that left leg further back, perhaps touching it with your right arm, perhaps having the left arm resting on your right one. If you were using a cushion on the other side, remember to use it on this side too, or at least try it. We're still on the same chakra, so the same name, yellow, works here, but it might be a different kind of yellow as you twist towards this side. The sound Ram seems to help tap into this area a little deeper. Ram. Allowing the center of willingness and communication be washed with your intention to balance and heal. While everything else around you supports you towards it. Taking another few breaths here, just as you are. Allowing the body to be heavy and still. And slowly release your whole back onto the mat, bringing both the legs parallel to each other. Perhaps the knees stay bent, or if it feels appropriate for you, you can straighten your legs all the way down. And before we continue to the heart space, take a deep breath in all the way to your toes. And a deep breath out. Take another moment if you need to. And slowly start coming back to sit whenever you're ready. To bring the knees close to you, we'll get into moth posture. It's a little tricky, and you might want to sit a little higher than the bottom of your feet. So you might need a bolster, a cushion, anything. Might not. See how it is for you. And you bring both your hands inside of the legs. You turn them both inwards towards your belly, and then turn the palms towards your stomach. What you want to feel here is a gentle or intense stretch in the back side of your heart. So the legs can help you push inwards. But because they will get tired, you can use blocks on the outsides to hold the legs closer. If this is not accessible for you, another way to access the heart space, and quite different, so you get to access the front of the heart instead, is you put your bolster all the way lying on the mat, and you lie on top of it, opening the heart to the front. So choose whichever variation feels nicer. Settle in to whatever you have chosen and focus on the area, whether it's at the front or the back of the heart. Settling in, letting the head be heavy either way. Perhaps seeing the color green, or internally repeating yum. I find it so beautiful that the sound for the heart is yum. Being fully present while the heart is opening. Another couple of deep breaths here. Seeing green and hearing yum. And this time, lifting your upper body back up very gently, very slowly, taking any props that you used away and bringing your hands just behind you so that you don't shock the heart area, perhaps even moving the knees towards one side and then the other. Come all the way to lie down on your back. And let the heart space readjust by opening at the front if you were stretching the back, or opening at the back if you were stretching the front. Let's stay here for a little longer. Take as long as you need before you turn yourself upside down and lie on your belly for another moment. Take there a breath or two. And then pick something between a cushion or a block to bring your chin on, just the chin, the end of the chin even. And let your arms behind you, creating space under the neck. So for this one, you want the area of the front of the throat to have some gap, to not actually touch anything, and only your chin to be on the cushion or the block. If that's too much for the back of your neck, then maybe you need it the most. Or you might choose to do it on the mat without a cushion, without a block. Bringing your whole attention to the area in the front of the neck, the front of the throat, coming to the throat chakra. To the color blue. And the sound hum, hum. Letting your whole front of the body be heavy. And concentrating all your attention in the throat and the space in front of it. carrying with you the intention of healing, the intention to balance the energy of your chakras. At any point that you feel this stretch had enough of an effect for you, and slowly remove any props that you had. Let your whole head rest on one side, using your arm as a pillow. Making sure, no matter whether I'm moving forward, you take the time to move to the opposite side too, for balance of the neck. When you have completed resting on both sides, slowly find a block. Find your block or book. Lift your upper body onto your elbows, forearms on the floor, and palms at first down. And if you feel you need a little more of balancing in the throat, often in our society we struggle to express what we need, and the throat chakra is responsible for that. Then stay with your head hanging back. If you feel what you're lacking most is clear vision and knowing what it is you actually need, you actually will benefit from, then move on to the third eye area by resting your forehead, the space between your eyebrows, on the block. If a higher setting on the block suits you better, or even a completely flat one, then feel free to adjust. It will depend on shoulder flexibility and many other things, but for now let's just focus on this one point between the eyebrows. Letting the head be heavy. And staying here, internally repeating beautiful, simple and seeing the color indigo. Activating the ability to see beyond seeing, to know beyond knowing. A little longer. Let's take the last few breaths, balancing the third eye chakra by removing any props and simply resting the third eye area onto your own hands. Simply feeling the area. And from this point, whenever you feel ready, turn yourself upside down so that you can lie flat on your mat for another minute. Also, still focused on the third eye area. Allow your attention to slowly drift towards the crown of your head. Creating one long stream of breath and energy flowing through your body. Inhaling all the way down through the spine, through the hips, through the knees, to the bottom of the feet. And exhaling to wash all that energy and breath up until you reach the crown of the head at the very top. Inhaling down slowly and steadily, and exhaling to the top. Making each of these inhalations last for 4 counts, without having to count them exactly, without having to be too logical, and exhales the same. Long, deep, steady movement of energy together with the breath, together with the blood that is flowing through our bodies. If you find your arms engaging as you attend to the breath and to the flowing, then mindfully relax them. Continue the breath movement, the prana movement, with the body as relaxed as possible. Coming back to the intention to balance yourself. Another 3 rounds. with a curious mind, take the rest little bit of time in this posture to notice if any area feels like it needs a little bit more attention. If any area is calling you to pay attention to it, to do something. If you can find one, it may be calling you in the form of asking you for a posture or asking you to simply be there. Then bring your palms to touch on top of your heart. Rub them a little so that they are nice and warm. And if you don't have any particular calling, put one on the heart and the other one on your low belly. Or have them both on top of whichever area you think needs a little bit more. With an open heart, an open mind, while you're paying all this attention to yourself, perhaps internally, let this part of you know that you're there. And perhaps even giving your body, your energy, your mind, your soul allowance to be how it is already enough. Even if it's a little blocked, a little too active, who are we to judge? Start by giving permission. And take another 3 to 5 breaths to consciously close this part of this session. Beautiful. Creating space, trust, and taking a moment to be supported and nourished. Whenever you feel ready, come to your left side, letting your whole left side of the body be on the floor, perhaps grabbing a cushion. Even a blanket if you haven't already. Make your way to a sit. So we can take one last minute together. Bringing all the attention to the crown of the head. Taking a deep inhale towards it, all the way up this time. And exhaling to come one step down towards the third eye chakra. Inhale to the crown. And exhale via the third eye to the throat. Inhale at the top. Exhale a little bit more, getting all the way to the heart, all your attention at the heart. Inhaling up. Exhaling to the stomach, to the solar plexus. 2 more, inhale up. Exhale, thinking of your sacrum, getting your whole attention there. Keeping the healing. Last one. From the top, inhalation all the way to your root. Take another few breaths. And whenever you're ready, bring the hands in front of your heart. Give yourself a little bow for all the time and energy you've spent. It was very well spent, I'm sure. And inhale to lift both your hands up. Give yourself a little stretch. Arms up all the way around towards the floor. Like creating a little protection bubble for yourself. And inhale all the way up towards the ceiling until they touch. To exhale in front of the heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Thank you too, guys.